Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the UMC Nation Spotlight. This time we will be taking a look on Czechoslovakia. I will show you what I did in the past 3 weeks. I will talk about some mechanics of Czechoslovakia, my future plans for it, and some other things. Let's do it. And here we are, playing as Czechoslovakia. Just so you know, this video will be divided into 4 phases. In the first one we will take a look on national spirits, in the second one we will take a look on decisions, in the third one we will take a look on focus tree, and in fourth I will talk about some future plans for Czechoslovakia. Anyway, when you start the game as Czechoslovakia, you are immediately greeted with this event which tells you about history of Czechoslovakia and also its problems. It also sets up the starting bias towards Slovaks, which is important for one of the Czechoslovak core mechanics, which is called Czechoslovakism. Czechoslovakism is an idea which basically tells that Czechs and Slovaks are one nation, the Czechoslovak nation. It is, however, far from perfect, mainly because the number of Czechs is much higher than the number of Slovaks in the Czechoslovakia. It's also one of the core problems which the Czechoslovak government has to face during the gameplay. Another national spirit tells you about other nationalities living in Czechoslovakia, namely 3 million Germans, 800,000 Hungarians, and 400,000 Russians. This represents the main weakness of Czechoslovakia as a state, as it was in history. When we are at the bad national spirits, let's continue with another one, called German ownership of Sudeten industry. Sudetenland territory contains most of Czechoslovak industry, and only 20 to 30% of it is owned by Czech businessmen. Therefore, some of your industry is owned by Germany. Luckily, that's all from the bad news, and we can take a look on the good national spirits, such as President Osvoboditel. President Osvoboditel is the nickname of first Czechoslovak president Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk, and he was a real political powerhouse, which is represented by daily political power gain and also weekly stability gain. Did you know that Czechoslovakia was one of the 10th most industrialized nation? Well, it was, and therefore we have developed heavy industry national spirit representing that. Then we have famous Czechoslovak border fortification national spirit, which can be further improved through decisions and focuses. Another one is also well known, and that's the Czechoslovak legionaries. Those were the soldiers who, during the World War I, went abroad and fought in order to secure Czechoslovaks their own state. Basically, most of the generals and most of the soldiers who are now in the army were legionaries, and they fought in Russia or in Italy, in France, or even in Serbia. So it's safe to say that Czechoslovak army is really experienced. Did you also know that at one point in time Czechoslovakia basically controlled Russia? That's because they controlled the famous Trans-Siberian Railway. So it looks something like this. Also, another fun fact is that Czechoslovak troops almost managed to save the Russian Tsar before he was executed together with his family. They arrived just a bit too late. Now, when we are here, I will just quickly go through some advisors I made. All are custom and new. Same goes with military high command. And army chiefs. Taking a look on the decisions now, you can see that we have now 2 main decision categories. One is Czechoslovakism and second one is border fortification. Through the border fortification, you can simply increase your fort level on borders and also improve the Czechoslovak border fortification national spirit. The Czechoslovakism is more important and also more interesting because it symbolizes the internal relations between Czechs and Slovaks. You will have to deal with bias towards them before you can become one united nation. You can decrease bias via employing political advisors, completing decisions and focuses, and also through certain events. Now looking onto the focus tree, this is what I made in the past 3 weeks. It's important to say that focus icons are work in progress, and also to give credit to Kaiserreich Redux because I am using some of their focus icons. Now, starting with industry, Czechoslovakia really has strong focuses through which it can improve their industry and really utilize their resources well. Czechoslovakia also can improve their state type or region type and also sell their weapons abroad through this focus. I made a separate video about the global arms export, so make sure to check that as well. In the Army and Air Force branches, there are also very strong focuses, providing a significant boost to your research speed of certain technologies. This is also the focus you need to complete to be able to select those fortification decisions. When threatened, you can also complete this focus, which boosts up your mobilization speed. Very useful when one of your neighbor, I am looking at you Germany, is starting to do certain focus which would basically tell you to give up some of your territory. Oh, also you can get the licenses for strategic bombers through this focus. I think we can skip the famous Czechoslovak Navy branch and take a look on the political branch. In this update I focused mainly on democratic branches, even though you can see some work in progress German branch right here. Anyway, what concerns the democratic branch, you have 3 major options to follow. First one is going with the Western allies, France and Britain. Second one is becoming leader of Central European Alliance, eventually forming European Union. And third one is to pursue neutrality. There are in total 5 different paths you can follow and also 8 sub-paths. Firstly, taking a look on the Western focus, it's really straightforward. You go with France, you choose if you want to go on with only France or if you want to go with Britain as well. You strengthen your cooperation and so on and so on. There are 2 major focuses, however. First one is Czechoslovak-Soviet Treaty of Support, which secures you support from Soviet Union should you be attacked. Historically, this was in effect during the Munich conference. However, Soviet Union didn't share border with Czechoslovakia, therefore they couldn't support. The second one is to combat the policy of appeasement, which is not yet finished because it will be a custom unique decision category for more than one nation, through which nations like Czechoslovakia will be able to raise French and British war support and increase the chance that Western allies will speak against Germany, and in contrary, Germany will be able to decrease their war support. So it will be like a diplomatic minigame. Really, this will be like the main thing of the pro-Western path, but because it requires me to work on France and Britain as well when I am doing this focus, I left it for later. When you are going with France, you can also choose if you want to trust only in the West, or if you want to maintain relations with the Little Entente members. If you choose to do so, you can complete these focuses. The second major path is the leader of Central European Alliance. Through this, you can ally Yugoslavia, Romania, Bulgaria, and Poland, eventually formalizing the alliance and even expanding it. Through that, you can invite Benelux countries, Scandinavian countries, and also Baltic countries, eventually forming the European Union. The most interesting branch, in my opinion, is the neutrality branch. It starts by completing the neutrality pursuit focus, which lets you revisit the elections of 1935. Completing that focus gives you this event, which tells you about the elections and also what were the problems with it. There was mainly one, and that is that there was only one candidate that could be voted for. Here you can choose if you want to continue with Beneš or choose another president. If you choose to do so, it will initiate an event chain and eventually lets you pick up a better president for the selected focus path and improve its bonuses. After the revisited elections, you can follow with one of these three focuses. The first one is what I called Mayhem branch, which ignites a civil war inside Czechoslovakia. The second one is Czechoslovakianism branch, which lets you achieve neutrality without a civil war if you are careful, but doesn't save you from the German demands. And the third one, also the most interesting one, is the Czechoslovakism to four nationalities state idea. By completing this focus, you put German and Hungarian nationalities at the same level as the Czech and Slovak one, and it transfers the Czechoslovakism national spirit and also decision category into a four nationalities state idea one. Let's take a look. As you can see, the decision category transformed and it now contains Germans and also Hungarians. Also, that mission that triggers every half of the year is different. You will now have to put much more work to secure the lower state of bias towards other nationalities. Continuing with the four nationalities in one state branch, you can reconcile with the Germans, with Hungarians, and eventually sign agreements with Germany and Hungary. With Germany, you can make so-called Karlsbad agreement, which when accepted by Germany gives them resources right in Sudetenland and also blocks them from completing the Munich conference focus. So Sudetenland stays with you. Yay! Then you can continue with these focuses, which improve your stability and war support, and also the four nationalities in one state national spirit, making Bratislava, Karlsbad and Kassa regional capitals, and eventually proclaiming the Bohemian Federative Republic. From here you can continue with some basic focuses and improve the worldwide happening through volunteers and also spies. That will be all from the new stuff, and now we will talk about plans for Czechoslovakia for a bit. First of all, this focus tree needs some filler focuses. As you can see, there is plenty of space where I can put more focuses expanding upon cooperation with other nations. I want those focuses to be as good as possible, therefore I will wait until I overhaul other nations as well. You might also notice that down here there is the 6 nationalities in one state idea focus, which puts Poles and Ukrainians at the same level as the other 4. Through that focus, you will then also be able to core Poland, also Ukraine, also Germany and Hungary. And that will be all for today. Make sure to check out the UMC Discord for more info, and I will see you next time. Bye!